To a new week for our daily word and our continued journey through Scripture and our relationship together and how Scripture speaks to us. And we've been doing this, of course, for almost 3 years now as we head into the month of March. And so thanks for always being with me, for carving out time, for allowing Scripture to speak through us and through me and through you as it applies to our lives. It is a yucky, rainy, dark Monday morning, but we're together, and that's the good news as we share our lives together. So we are, of course, in the season of Lent as we move forward together, and we begin this second week together. And I've chosen for our scripture from Psalm 17, verses 8 through 9. And today, I forgot to say, today is daily word number 682. And so from Psalm 17, verses 8 through 9, we hear these words. Guard me as an apple of the eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. From the wicked who despoil me, my deadly enemies who surround me. So I was thinking early this morning when I left the house. It was dark and rainy, and I had spent a rather fitless night tossing back and forth. And so when I can't sleep and when I toss back and forth, I just pray. And I got to thinking about this morning the prayers that I prayed last night. And when I look back at the prayers that I was praying, it almost felt like that it was a self-help book, a sacred self-help book. Heal me, strengthen me, make me whole, do something about this stupid left leg of mine, give me strength, help me preach better. I think back to my sermon, and I was a lot disappointed about how it laid out because it really didn't go as planned. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's often how, when I look back, how I see my prayers. It's as if I'm approaching God, and that all I am is a project, that's in need of some tweaking, some tuning up. A new tool to figure me out. But the psalmist gives me and gives us, I think, some interesting guidance for our prayer life. The harder prayer to say out loud, even when no one but God can hear it, is that there's a lot in this world, a lot in this life, a lot in our relationships that frankly is out of my control and out of your control, out of our control. There are forces too big for me, you, and I to manage. There are issues, of course, that need divine intervention and holy love. There are problems that we need to hand over to God because simply, frankly, they're just too big. For any one person or any one church or any one community, that we could simply solve them on our own. And it's in moments like those that prayer is less about self-help and more about admitting that we require God's help. Now, I don't know about you, but not only admitting that we require God's help, but admitting that we require someone else's help. When we feel alone, when we feel distressed, when we feel like we can't go on, when what we need help with, our skills don't match that. And I don't always ask for help like I should. Yesterday, if you were in worship or watched online, at the end of the children's message, everybody had made their way, and I was still holding my little Bennett. And Dustin took him, and I was ready to get up. And I'm like, I'm just going to get up. And Dustin had his hand out. I'm like, I'm good. And Dustin said, Dad, Just take my hand. And so I did, and of course, he's strong enough, even with Bennett in his hands, to pull me up. And I think about that in light of the psalmist and what God provides for us. The most important times that we need to call on God is probably when we need to encounter God in a situation that is really out of our control and in need of a higher power. Whether it's Indian oppression or justice or living in harmony or getting help up. You know, I said at the end of my sermon, when poor little Sloan bonked her head, I saw it happen. And she cried, of course, went to her mommy. They walked out, and 3 or 4 minutes later, not even that long, probably they were walking back in, and she was perfectly fine. And I got to thinking about that, you know, that's who God is for us, as I said. And God doesn't expect us to fix the broken world by ourselves, but God meets us in our brokenness and takes it from there. Guard me as the apple of the eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings from the wicked who despoil me, my deadly enemies who surround me. So I was thinking this morning in the corner booth at Frisch's with my coffee cup and my eggs. I got to thinking, you know, some of this, all the stuff that I'm worrying about and pray about is most of it, almost all of it, well, probably all of it, is out of my control. And what I really need God to do is to guard me, to be the apple of God's eye. And so for us in our beginning of a new week, and the challenges that we face, that's my prayer for us, for me and for you, that we'll just allow God to meet us where we are and allow God to take it from there, to shelter us from the storms of life. And that's our word for today, and I hope that's a word that meets you where you are today, even on this rainy day, where it's just, you know, where it kind of compounds where we are in our lives. So I hope that meets you where you are in your journey today and through our daily word together. So thanks for joining me. As always, thanks for saying good morning. There will not be a daily word tomorrow. Tomorrow, my mom is having her heart surgery, and so I will be at St. Rita's with her. There will not be a daily word tomorrow. We'll see about Wednesday and what that all looks like. So we, of course, as I already know, we, of course, covet your prayers in that. And, too, with all of that, you know, Mom and I, Dr. Patel, who is the cardiologist, we trust him. He is well regarded in his field. And all of that is really out of our control. And so we continue to covet your prayers, tomorrow especially. So thanks for being with me. Know of God's love that just surrounds you and holds you close. Know of my love for you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning hopefully Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. Have a great day.